short show. I want to share my screen with me. If I'm so sorry about the background. We're having technical difficulties on our end, and I'm going to try and share the screen so that you guys can get some of what I'm talking about. Today is the slice of the pie episode, and let me see if I can um, make this work for us. Okay, that's not it. Um, there we go. So, let's see. Got it. Okay, I think I figured this out. Let me launch it and we will start talking. Okay, and I am launching this apparently on both my screens. And let me see if I can get this set up so that I can actually do this on my other screen too. Okay, share this. Go. And I'm sorry about the text. It's problematic of what we're doing here. Okay. All right. So when we're talking about our economy, and we're talking, I mean, it seems appropriate. We're going to be doing this in autumn anyhow. So we all start thinking about apple pie and pumpkin pie and the rest of it. As we're thinking about our economy, we tend to think of it as a pie, and we get told how healthy it is and how many jobs get added. And the things that we measure by are doing so well, and we're trying to avoid this and we're trying to avoid that. None of that actually tells us what our economy is doing, how it compares to 20 years ago, how it compares to 5 years ago, how it compares to what it was in the past. And the pie slice looks really robust, especially when most of us live in the brown zone there. And so we'll talk about what that is as I move this slide presentation forward. One, maybe. Okay. Let's see what I can do with this. Okay. There we go. All right. So this is a picture of the slide that we had before. The it's not really sales; it's income. But I was doing this at the last minute and wanted to put something together. So the pink in there is the 1% that we hear a lot about. It's the 1% of the people that have the greatest amount of resources. But let's do this visually. The next group, the kind of purplish, is the 20%, top 20%. The green is the top next 30%, and then the rest of us all fall into the brown category. So how does that look when we're talking about real income? If you go over here and you see that the purplish here, the reddish purple here, that's the 1%. They have somewhere between 78 and 90% of all new income generated goes to them. Not so healthy, right? 30%, the purple, the next group of income goes to them. The gray, that's the 20%, the gray is the 30%. And everybody's sharing those little pieces. And then the rest of us, the brown, all fit in the little black area there. That's the problem. We share the vast majority of us share the least amount of income. And how is it that we didn't notice this happening? And we hear the new YouTube videos about it. We have people talking about it, and we hear the word socialism thrown around and communism thrown around. And we don't really even know what those words mean anymore. They were used to stop a movement toward more equal playing field in the 70s, and it's continued to be used since then to keep us basically poor and struggling to make ends meet, so we can't do anything to change it. So this is what a healthy pie looks like. Everybody has a chunk of it, everybody shares it, and this is what the gross domestic product is supposed to reflect about our wealth and our capabilities. But here's the secret. This is, let's say, this slice of pie is from the 60s and 70s, and actually in the 50s to 60s, mid 60s, this is kind of what the pie looked like to a great degree, because we were taxing the rich, and with war taxes, post World War II and the Korean War. And then what happened is, we built the entire nation. We built the infrastructure of the nation. People had jobs. People were able to move forward. People were able to thrive. We had that insular family system that everybody thinks that we should have now, but the factors that created that don't exist anymore. So this was the pie of the 70s. This is a big pie, lots of money coming in, lots of money being dispersed, everybody, money moving through the pyramid. And then in the 70s, we took America off the gold standard. So our money was then backed by our manufacturing capability. And about the same time, we started manipulating the dollars. We, and not me, obviously, the dollars were being manipulated so that it required two incomes to buy a house. That was a major hit, and basically destroyed the insular family, where one person could work and the other person could take care of the children, and still thrive. From that point forward, we have been taking steps all the way along that put us in lower and lower and lower resource capabilities, while fewer and fewer get richer and richer. And we can't seem to do anything about it because we're so busy othering each other, because we're told that we have to kick down at somebody who's lower on the scale than us. We need to come together. So this is what the pie looks like today. It may sound like we have a really great pie, but this pie is a 12-inch pie. And this is the pie we have today, which is a 6-inch pie or a 5-inch pie. So we're measuring the pie thinking that, we're doing really well. But the 10-inch pie, the 12-inch pie, the GDP was measuring our ability to buy steak. This pie is measuring whether we can buy ground beef. So it looks healthy, but the numbers have been changed to measure different things. And this is how we believe that we're doing okay, when the vast majority are not. When we're talking about solving homelessness, we have to solve this. Homelessness is an economic result of the manipulation of the markets for the last 50, 60 years. And I don't mean markets like the stock market, though that plays a part in it. This is basically giving away oversight, regulation, care of people to corporations who are only looking at short-term profit. If it's not happening in the next quarter, we don't care about it. That's the thought. That's the mindset. So today we're talking about a slice of the pie. Realize that when people are quoting statistics at you, ask them what the statistics base are. What is actually being measured? What was being measured in 1970? What slice of the pie is considered healthy when we can't afford to pay for rent, when the food prices are going to continue to grow? And in all of this, we don't even talk about climate change, which is changing the environment in which we live. And I will talk right now briefly about the one effect we are all going to notice, and might be noticing already, is that the shelves in the grocery stores have fewer and fewer items. Produce has less and less and is more and more expensive. And it's going to continue to get that way because crops are being destroyed by weather. And crops are being destroyed by overuse of resources like water. And as we realize this, our pocketbooks are going to be affected. Our nutritional values are going to be affected. And even the packaged food that you buy in the grocery store, that you throw in the microwave, and the food in the restaurants, all is going to be impacted. our ability to eat is going to be impacted. So let's start paying attention to the things we require to survive. Let's start getting together and growing gardens. Let's talk about what we need to change to bring a more thriving edge to our community and create the capacity to live and to thrive. Take a look at the Kids Up Resiliency Project page on Facebook. We're going to be talking a lot more. We have a few surprises coming up in the very near future. One is we are going to be creating our own social media presence. We're going to invite people to engage with us to help change this. We are developing resources for neighborhoods where people will come and help you put together gardens in your communities and teach people how to garden. We are working very hard to bring people together that can help each other. And what we're looking for is you to join up and talk to us. Also, we have a few meetings coming up, so keep an eye out for that. And all I can say now is have a wonderful day. And let me try and get out of this without totally destroying what we're doing here. Okay, there we go. Be good to each other. Oh, you were only seeing me. Okay, sorry. It only allows me to see the screen I'm sharing under with that. So I did share the screen, but apparently it didn't go all the way through. Let me try this again, and I'll just you got the idea of it, so I'll just flag through the actual slides. There we go. I'm just going to use the basic here. Share. Can y'all hold on? There we go. Let's say I'm not the one who usually does this. So going back to the beginning, this is the slice that everybody sees. We'll go to the next one. So this is the 1% here, and the next 20%, the next 30%, and then the rest of us. This is, I have to share it twice to get it to share. The rest of us in this one are right here. We share that much of the income. The next 30% share the gray area. The top 30% or top 20% share this area here, and the 1% share this area here. Visually, that's how the economy works. And why is this not going to the next one? Okay. Because I got to do it here. There we go. Nope. There we go. All right. So on this one, this is the 1960s, 1970s. This is what the pie looked like. And then if we go here, this is what the pie is today. Can't see the cursor. Okay, can you see again? You see the slide. The point here is the larger pie is what we had in the 70s, and this is the pie we're seeing today. It's not the same pie. The resources aren't the same, and the majority of the resources are going to 1%. So this is our reality. This is what we're doing. This is what's going on with us, and the political engine is not going to change this. They have no vested interest in it. We have to come together and apply pressure via our dollars, via our votes to change this. And it seems to be the hardest thing. People think, well, I don't want to talk to my neighbor. And I was watching a show the other day that explained that a lot of people who are activists go online and they find people like them on Facebook and they all talk to each other, but it's not accomplishing anything. Connecting to your neighbors, learning the tools to talk to your neighbors and connect on a benefit for them, like a gardening together to provide food for everybody. That's the only way we're going to create security in the short term, and coming together on human priorities is the only way we're going to secure our future in the long term. That's the only way that we're going to do this. So if somebody else has another way or a magic wand, I've yet to find it, and please share it with me. but the work is really about us connecting with each other. That's how it has to happen. We have canceled our workshops from this time forward because we couldn't get the message out to people to help get in a good enough way so people realized that we were trying to give them a tool that they could use. We are starting to focus on projects. We're going to be doing a victory garden um, over by the West Side Development Center, and we're going to be giving news about that on Facebook. And we're developing a page on Mighty Networks to get people to engage when they can engage, because we're trying to find a time that works for all of us, and social media is the only way to do that. But we want to have more dedicated social media, not the gray area that Facebook and Twitter and such create. We are going to expand our YouTube channel in the next several months. By the first of the year, we should be doing some pretty amazing things. So stay tuned. We will be back on our normal time, I assume, and our normal interaction with Marwan and myself to model the behavior of talking to someone who may not agree with you and finding consensus. That's what we do every week on Wednesday. Please join us next Wednesday for another round of that. Um, and we will probably revisit this before the end of the year again, and I will have something more less last minute put together. Thank you all, and you have a wonderful day. From Marwan and the Conduit and Resilient Ecosystems, have a great day.